Good evening and welcome to the induction ceremony for the National Honor Society for the class of 2020. I am Mrs. Church, co-advisor of the National Honor Society.
And I am Mrs. Vieira.
We want to welcome everyone tonight and personally congratulate students for all of your accomplishments throughout your high school career. We would also like to thank you, parents, for your support in your child's success. You must be very proud. This ceremony is quite special and unique due to the current circumstances with COVID-19. We are happy to meet virtually to celebrate the achievements and accomplishments of this year's senior inductees.
Before we hand over the meeting to our outgoing president, we want to introduce this year's board and thank them for their very successful year. Finn Helgeson. Finn is our president and he will be attending Middlebury College in the fall. Vabel Dubey. Vabel, our vice president, will be attending Illinois Institute of Technology. Abigail Chase and Samaya Rukos, our secretaries. Abigail has been accepted into Boston College, and Samaya is undecided between Bridgewater State University and UMass Dartmouth. John Carrero, our treasurer, will be at Colorado School of Mines. In addition to their involvement in NHS, as well as other various sports and club activities, they have maintained a GPA that has kept them in the top 20% of their class. They have done an exceptionally fine job this year, and we loved working with them. We wish all 5 of you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you. We will now welcome Finn Helgeson to conduct the rest of the ceremony. Finn?
Good evening. Would everyone please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome to our Honor Society induction ceremony. My name is Finn Helgeson and I served as president of this year's National Honor Society. Being inducted into this organization is one of the greatest honors a student can achieve at Dartmouth High School. The National Honor Society of Secondary Schools was created in 1921 by educators who sought a way to formally promote and recognize excellence among students. The founders decided that admission to the society would be contingent not only upon outstanding scholarship, but also leadership, character, and service, 3 other qualities indicative of principled citizenship. It was in 1947 that Dartmouth High School received its charter as a local chapter of the National Honor Society. Membership represents a level of excellence in students exhibited not only in the classroom, but also by compassionate and moral behavior. These are qualities that display a desire to thrive in and improve the world in which you live. The students being inducted this evening have demonstrated they excel in the areas of scholarship, leadership, character, and service, and for that, I congratulate them. Each year, members of the National Honor Society vote to select a charity to support and thus adopt a mission that aligns with that charity. Over the course of this past school year, we solicited aid from local businesses and donated our own time and, if students were able, own money to hold fundraisers to benefit our chosen charity. This year's organization, the Environmental Law Alliance Worldwide, is an agency dedicated to combating the current and impending repercussions of the global climate crisis. Their tools in this fight are educating and empowering community-driven activism, aiding attorneys who are working to strengthen and enforce current environmental laws, funding research to critique, monitor, and find alternatives to proposed developments that will impact the environment, and providing legal defense to those being prosecuted for environmental advocacy. Since our mission was to help and not further the damage done to our planet, we specifically planned each fundraiser to create as little waste as possible. These efforts included, but are not limited to, using digital agendas for meetings rather than printed ones, not using excessive amounts of materials to decorate, making decorations durable enough to be saved for years to come, donating leftover food to shelters, and choosing fundraisers that themselves would not create excessive waste or use too much of Earth's limited resources. While we had a few small fundraisers, our main ones were our annual volleyball tournament and Valentine's Day dance at the Council on Aging, and both were successful. I'm very proud to say that because of the efforts of my fellow officers, Honor Society members, our advisor, Ms. Vieira and Ms. Church, many local businesses, and the community at large, we were able to raise just under $2,500 to donate to ELAW. I would like to extend my gratitude to all who I mentioned. We truly are making a difference. To my fellow members from this year and to incoming members, I would like to say that I'm confident that you will have similar or greater impacts on the world. Thank you for what you have done and for what is to come. Now, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Bangs. Dr. Bangs was selected by the current NHS members to represent the faculty here at Dartmouth High.
Good evening. Tonight is an important milestone in your lives as you are being recognized as outstanding scholars and individuals who have contributed to the betterment of our school and to our wider community. You are being inducted into the National Honor Society because you were selected based on qualities that you have regularly demonstrated that form the 4 pillars of this organization. You have been selected due to your scholarship, the first hurdle, if you will, to being recognized as somebody who qualifies for the National Honor Society. Your hard work, your determination to succeed, your grit when things become difficult have all combined to elevate your academic success to the level that the National Honor Society expects of its members. These qualities have brought you to this point, and more importantly, they will carry you through college and beyond, with beyond being the most important consideration. Your learning must not stop when your formal schooling does. We live in a world where it is becoming increasingly important to learn and adapt to constant change and innovation. Your successes as learners thus far has shown that you are more than capable of facing challenges and succeeding in our changing world, but only if you maintain the mindset that the learning is never over and the learning never becomes less important. You have been selected based on your character, that which we can't see until we observe your behavior, your manners, the way in which you interact with others. It is what is inside of you, but it is also what you show to the world as you go about your lives. Your character is what people will remember about you, and your character is what will have the greatest impact on others. You have been selected based on your leadership, your ability to motivate others to work together to achieve a common goal, your ability to translate a vision into reality. This is perhaps the most powerful of the pillars of the National Honor Society, because through leadership, you have the capacity to influence and change the world around you. As is evident from the essays written by all of you, leadership comes in many forms, whether directly by encouraging others to perform or behave in a particular way, or indirectly by quiet demonstration of the right thing to do. In all cases, leadership by example is the most compelling, and it is incumbent upon all of you as members of the National Honor Society and as leaders in your local environments to continuously provide examples of how we should behave and act in the face of stress, in the face of hardship, and in times of crisis, as well as when times are easier than they are today. Your leadership will contribute to our success as a society as we struggle to achieve a new normal during what has been and what will continue to be a period of extreme challenge for all of us. You have been selected based on a proven record of public service, and this, in my opinion, is the most important pillar of the National Honor Society. As demonstrated by your experiences, service has many different facets, all of which are important to the people around us. Whether you have donated your time to directly assist people in need, or have shared your talents to provide comfort or inspiration to others, or whether you have contributed to the success of programs or events that benefit specific subsets or the public at large, your service has and will continue to contribute to the general welfare and well-being of the population in general and of people in need. It is important to recognize that as inductees into the National Honor Society, you have a responsibility to continue your record of service to others and to provide leadership and character to inspire others to serve as well. We are living in unprecedented times with an uncertain future ahead of us, and we will come through this and return to some semblance of normalcy only through the contributions of people like you, who selflessly give of themselves and seek to find ways to help those who are in need of our assistance. We have seen example after example of normal people doing extraordinary things to reduce the suffering and the fear that we face today. Whether it is our frontline healthcare workers risking their own lives to save others, people spending hours collecting, delivering, and handing out food or other basic necessities to those who have lost so much, or citizens doing what they can to spread cheer and alleviate loneliness. Everybody has something to contribute. It is vitally important that you both continue to serve as you have served, and that you inspire others to also serve in whatever manner they are able to. Service to others can be a part of your career, as we see in our healthcare workers, our public safety workers, and those who see to the social and emotional well-being of others. If we are lucky, perhaps some of you will become teachers and use your talents to educate our young to ensure the future for all of us. Service can be through organizational volunteerism, whether it is donating your time in a soup kitchen, or coaching children in sports, or working to help build or rehabilitate somebody's home. Service can be individual acts of kindness or assistance, whether it be donating blood, shoveling snow for an elderly neighbor, or delivering groceries to people for whom shopping is currently too dangerous. Regardless of the form that it takes, public service is a foundational strength of our society, and that is why it is one of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. You are being inducted this evening because you have demonstrated qualities consistent with all 4 pillars, and there is every expectation that you will continue to do so as you move on from high school, continue your education, and participate in society as adults. We are immensely proud of what you have accomplished, and even more proud of who you are. Thank you for selecting me to speak during this momentous occasion. It is my honor to do so. Thank you also for the many contributions that you have made to Dartmouth High School as students and as leaders. A high school is no better than the culture that permeates its hallways, and you have done much to build and shape the culture that we all experience daily as members of the Dartmouth High School community. You are now moving on to bigger things, and you are taking with you the strengths that you have displayed so well as students here. Your futures are very bright, and our world will be a better place because of the contributions that you will continue to make. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you. It now gives me great pleasure to present Mr. Ross Tebow, Principal of the Dartmouth High School. We would like to thank Mr. Tebow for his support this year, including his participation in our volleyball tournament and for supporting our Valentine's Day dance.
Good evening. It is my honor and privilege to address and to congratulate the newest members of the Dartmouth High School chapter of the National Honor Society. The National Honor Society was established as much more than an academic honor society. NHS is an organization founded upon 4 equally important pillars: scholarship, character, leadership, and service. Membership in the National Honor Society is not about one more achievement on a laundry list of outstanding accomplishments. Becoming a member of the National Honor Society is about much more than that. Becoming a member of the National Honor Society requires that you take a solemn oath whereby you pledge yourself to upholding the virtues of the National Honor Society, not between now and June 7th, but for the rest of your lives. And that's a long time. And you should know that you are taking the oath and accepting this responsibility at a time in our nation and community's history when it has never been more necessary. Do not shy away from this challenge. Embrace it. You see, we live in an age of social media where everybody is an expert on all things, except, ironically, on how to appropriately handle differing viewpoints, opinions, or ideas. Too often, the tone and tenor of our discourse becomes nasty, personal, and biting. Too often, we rush to vilify those with opposing viewpoints, forgetting that we all breathe the same air and we all hold the same aspirations to live out our lives with health and happiness. My challenge to each of you tonight is to do your part to restore civility to our discourse. You can be the tiny ripple that sets in motion a great sea change in our public discourse, where we once again recognize that our differences are quite small, especially in comparison to the commonness of our aspirations for a bright future. Will you join me in this challenge? My hope is that your response is an enthusiastic and steadfast yes. In accepting my challenge tonight, you take the first step toward embracing the motto of the National Honor Society, which is noblesse oblige, the unwritten belief that with the honor of being inducted into this prestigious society, you are agreeing to uphold the 4 pillars upon which it was built: Class of 2020 inductees, congratulations. Now go be that tiny ripple that sets in motion a great sea change, now and forever.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow. Every year, we ask current NHS members to perform at the induction. At this time, I'd like to share Alexis Aruta's recorded performance of Blackbird by the Beatles. Alexis chose this song as it represents a message of fortitude during difficult times.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You're only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Now, we would like to begin the candle lighting service. I will now light the candle of knowledge. Knowledge is at the core of everything we do in our lives. It is from the candle of knowledge that we draw the inspiration for the other aspects of our lives. As the minister Ralph W. Sockman said, "The larger the island of knowledge, the longer the shoreline of wonder." The light of this candle illuminates the future. This year's officers of the National Honor Society will now light the candles, which represent the 4 pillars of the Honor Society.
Hello everyone, and welcome. Of course I'm not on my bed, wearing a suit on top and then shorts on the bottom, of course not. Alright, let's get started. Scholarship. One of the core principles of the Honor Society, scholarship serves as the foundation of the society, as it is one of the primary criteria for initial selection into the organization, as well as all the requisite standards its members must uphold in order to maintain membership. Scholarship is representative of the intrinsic value each member of the Honor Society must value in their higher pursuit of academic excellence. I will now light the candle of scholarship. And I was gonna have a blowtorch with me, but I thought something safer would be nice. And of course, a box of matches on my bed. Of course, what could be safer than that? We will find out. Here goes nothing. Alright. Candle of scholarship right here. In the graduate cylinder. How clever is that? Ooh. Scholarship candle.
Perhaps the most overlooked yet most intrinsically significant principle, the Honor Society requires that all members represent the organization as persons of character through the demonstration of integrity, respect, responsibility, fairness, compassion, and citizenship. As longtime UCLA basketball coach John Wooden once said, "Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are." I will now light the candle of character.
A core principle of the Honor Society, service refers to actions done for or on behalf of others, without any compensation provided to the individual performing the actions. Members of the organization must be selfless in action, selfless in thought, and selfless in nature. For service to others makes one pure in heart and exhibits an outward showing of everything the Honor Society stands for. As Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. I will now light the candle of service.
Leadership signifies a position of being in charge of guiding or directing a group of individuals or an organization. Leadership showcases the qualities for which members of the Honor Society must strive to uphold in their daily responsibilities throughout the many communities of which they belong. As American businessman Harold S. Janine once said, "Leadership is practice, not so much in words as in attitudes and in actions." I will now light the candle of leadership.
At this time, we will begin the induction ceremony. Inductees, please attach your pin and light your candle when I say your name. Eve Corey. Samuel Datry. Haley Dragon. Sarah Hurto. Kyle Lancaster. Manan Patel. Luke Sylvia. Please repeat after me. I pledge myself to uphold the high purpose of the National Honor Society, to which I have been elected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal at all times to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of character, scholarship, leadership, and service. Would all new members now please extinguish their candles? Congratulations to you, and may you find continued success in all that you do. I now welcome Dr. Bonnie Gifford, Superintendent for the Dartmouth Public Schools. It is both an honor and a privilege to have her address the newly inducted Honor Society members.
Greetings to the 2020 National Honor Society inductees, families, and friends. I'm pleased to be part of today's event. Despite having to celebrate virtually, we are celebrating with pride and admiration. You are being inducted because you have met the standards set forth by 4 criteria: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. You have also been chosen because you are a leader of your peers. From my perspective, being chosen as a member of the National Honor Society goes beyond tonight's event. This honor extends beyond high school and represents much more than the receipt of a pin or certificate. In my opinion, being chosen speaks to the word honor in National Honor Society. The term honor has always been a word used to refer to people of high moral worth or great achievement. It can be described as living with a sense of respect for what you believe in is right, respect for yourself and others, and the rules that guide your life. As stated in a military article entitled The Code of Honor, of all the Army values, honor is the one that embodies all the others. Honor is a matter of carrying out, acting, and living the values of respect, duty, loyalty, selfless service, integrity, and personal courage in everything you do. As a National Honor Society inductee, you are now challenged to live a life as a National Honor Society member. This comes with great responsibility. Going forward, through your everyday actions, you are encouraged to demonstrate what a life lived with honor looks like. I find Calvin Coolidge said it best when he stated, "No person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave." I encourage you to continue to embrace life's events as opportunities to live with honor. Get up every time you fall. Be a friend. Smile. Be kind. Be a winner when you lose a game or don't get a job, or someone disappoints you. Be a supportive team member. Be loyal and earn trust. It is said a mediocre teacher tells, a good teacher explains, a superior teacher demonstrates, and a great teacher inspires. My hope for each of you is that your life, lived honorably, becomes an inspiration to all who cross your path. Congratulations on your accomplishments and best wishes for continued success.
Thank you, Dr. Gifford. We would now like to invite students to reflect on their personal appreciation of a particular teacher who has supported and inspired them to be an outstanding student at Dartmouth High School.
I want to thank Mrs. Chamberlain for supporting me throughout high school. She was my Spanish teacher for 3 years and wrote many letters of recommendation for my college application process. She encouraged me to be a hard worker and to follow what was passionate. I'm very thankful for her guidance.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank my anatomy and physiology honors teacher, Mrs. Cohen, for not only assisting me during her challenging but rewarding class, but for also inspiring me to choose the major I intend to study as I enter college at UMass Dartmouth. Nursing has become a great passion, and I strongly desire to excel as a nurse, and I couldn't have discovered this passion for the subject without Mrs. Cohen's guidance and her enthusiasm to teach, which is something I've always loved every time I walk into her classroom. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Mrs. Cohen.
I would just like to give a special thanks to my 10th grade English teacher, Miss Megan Tully, for encouraging me and helping me with my success throughout my time at Dartmouth High School. I have only been at Dartmouth for a little over a year now, and in that short time, she helped me to realize that it's okay to be yourself and encouraged me to continue to do my best, even when things get hard. She was someone that I could talk to about my success and my failure, my past and my future, and even about my dreams and my fears. She always lifted me up and said that she believed that I'd make the right decisions in my life. She always seemed to have hope in me, and I gained so much encouragement from that. Though Miss Tully may not realize it, I give her so much credit for my success in my first year at Dartmouth, and for my determination in my second year. I can't thank her enough for how much she has helped me, and how much I appreciate her, not only as a teacher, but as a friend. I am so proud to have the honor in becoming a part of the National Honor Society, and I can't be sure of what would have happened if it weren't for Miss Tully and her kind words. So thank you, Miss Tully, for all your strength and encouragement.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank a Dartmouth High School teacher who has helped me tremendously last year during my junior year, as well as this year during my senior year. Senora Viana has always been one of my number one supporters. She has helped me not only in the classroom with my Spanish homework, but also in PACE this year. During PACE, I would visit her and have conversations with her. She helped me decide on my major for college and really put things into perspective for me and my life. She goes above and beyond for her students, and I am proud to say that I have been one of her students. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for all the care and love you show towards your students.
The teacher I would like to thank is Mrs. Tully. Mrs. Tully was my 11th grade English teacher and is a great teacher that really helped me better understand the English language. Her class was fun, but also a place where we learned a lot. She wrote my letter of recommendation for me, which was very kind and generous of her, and helped me a lot with my application process. She's friendly and approachable, and all students will be lucky to have her.
There are many teachers that have helped me accomplish so much, but today I want to show my appreciation to Miss Botcher. My first AP class was biology. Miss Botcher really helped make this class interactive and significantly easier. Through this class and her teachings, I decided that it was going to pursue a major in biology. So thank you for those flappers of notes. I will definitely use those in college.
I would like to acknowledge one of my English teachers, Miss Lassie, for always supporting and encouraging me. Miss Lassie also wrote my letter of recommendation, so I am so grateful for her of having her as a teacher.
On behalf of the Honor Society, I would like to thank everyone for attending this evening's ceremony.